Former members of the U.S. Postal Service recycling team expelled for being doped up, now solving crimes, Dana.
Yeah.
I'm doing to you what you do to me.
I don't do that to you. I think that with this whole doping thing broadly, just as a society, we see our own ambivalence about the boundary between the technology that we've created and our bodies and our own fear of dehumanization.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So, you know, I think that Lance Armstrong is not a loathsome person. He's a loathsome metaphor.
Oh, fantastic.
There go my talking points.
Yeah, exactly.
Skip me, Greg.
I will. Kaylee, they've denied these accusations. Do you believe Lance?
I don't. You know, I always believe in innocent until proven guilty, but the evidence is mounting here. And one thing that's going to really frustrate me, I mean, his Livestrong campaign's laudable, but if he is not given the same disdain that Barry Bonds was given, I'm going to be very upset. I mean, no amount of good counteracts this much bad in my eyes.
But why does he deserve disdain? This is what drives me nuts about situations like this. Everybody, the culture, the popular culture, and the fans of the popular culture, oh, we all love a bad boy until the bad boy really proves that he's an actual bad boy.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody is such a poser. I can't stand it. Everybody wants to be a Twitter personality. We want to go this far but not take it this far. This is what you get. We've lauded this guy for banging tons of girls all the time, for having wild parties with Matthew McConaughey, for smoking pot, for drinking, and now everybody's going to go, what?
Yeah.
What? You know, it's crazy.
But the crazier thing is assuming that everybody's going to be upset when most people don't even know that cycling exists. It's this thing it's this thing that you kind of hear about that happens. Other people do it. And Bill, I've said this before. Sports like this, I'm not impressed that somebody's good at this. If you do something 20 hours a day for 20 years, if you're not the best at it, then there's something wrong with you.
I'm impressed with anyone who wears Lycra.
Yeah.
Particularly little Lycra shorts. They don't do the whole thing. Yeah. Whenever I hear troubling news about Lance and I want to defend him, I immediately go to factsforlance.com. And Facts for Lance will go down systematically and tell you all of the facts that are run on him. And you know it's reputable because it's run by his lawyer.
Oh, really?
And you also know that it's hip-hop because instead of 4, they don't spell it out. They use the number 4 in the URL.
You know, by the way, that does save a lot of time.
It does. It saves time. It's cool for the kids.
Yeah.
And you learn something.
Yeah.
Lance is innocent.
I never forget, you know, his biggest crime? How he treated Sheryl Crow.
Oh.
And you know, I think we should take a break on that note and think about that.
He was her favorite mistake, Greg.
Yes. I wish I knew a song by her so I could make a pun, but I can't. Coming up, is there a market for clothing made from the bones of poor people? Dana Bichon discusses his new book, I Wear a Hobo to Bed. But first, there's no Gwyneth when it comes to Gwyneth. It's a new low for Paltrow. We report you stare vacantly at a wall, wishing for death.
Guests on Red Eye will stay at the luxurious Red Eye Suites. Conveniently located just minutes from the Garden State Parkway, the Red Eye Suites provide world-class accommodations for first and longtime guests alike.
So, will crime spike if footballs aren't? Well, one NFL superstar thinks so, warning of a crime wave if the 2011 season is locked out and there are no touchdown scoring throws or field kicks or alley swoops. All things I love about the game, Bill.
I know.
Yes, in an interview Sunday night, Ravens linebacker Ray Lewis discussed the outsized role the NFL has in society, saying, quote, what we're going through right now, we're affecting way more than us. Too many people live through us. It's true. People live through us, walk in the streets the way I walk in the streets. He added, do this research if we don't have a season. Watch how much evil, which we call crime. Watch how much crime picks up if you take away our game. Then ate a live pelican to make his point. Totally.
What?
Yes, animal cruelty is coming after you. Anyway, if there's no football this fall, or at least if we think there won't, I'll have blah, 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 blah. I'll have more time for my hobbies. Yeah. 3 years of training involved in that one. Joe, is he overstating the role of football in society, or is he understating it? Those are two opposing views.
Well, first let me say, I liked what your rendition of his statement sounded like the voiceover in Blade Runner.
Yeah,
that was very good.
Now I'm making fun of him being inarticulate, and then I screw up the transition right after. Well, I don't even make any sense.
No, I actually am a little fearful that if football does go away, that the crime rate will escalate. Because when football's going on, they keep all that criminal activity in the stadiums. At least.
Yes.
I don't know if you've ever been to a football game, but it looks like the end of Awakening.
Yeah.
Just people screaming and going crazy, but at least they're contained.
I love, Joe, how you assume. I love how you assume that I've never been to a football game. What do you think I do on weekends? Just, knit scarves?
I'm just used to being a comic. That's just comic delivery. I don't know if you folks have ever.
Anybody here from Chicago? Kaylee, is this a horrible view of humanity? Basically saying without a sport, we would be left to our devices of looting and killing.
No, it is a terrible view of humanity. And I mean, I look at this and I see him saying how evil the fans are going to be. And again, it's just such irony because he himself was on charge for murder. The only reason he got out of the case was because he testified against the two guys who were with him. So the evil fans, what about the evil Ray Lewis?
No fair. She has a Google account.
But I'm right. What about the evil Ray Lewis? Not the fans. What about the players?
I felt like this when they wrapped Asperger's into the autism spectrum.
Really?
I thought that without Asperger's syndrome, I wouldn't be able, all the neuroses that have been wrapped into Asperger's would be visited on me. And I actually do think that watching a small group of morons bludgeon each other every week keeps the larger group of morons that you might call society from bludgeoning one another every day. I think that there is something to be said for the sort of...
I have no idea.
It's like Orwellian. It's like the minute of hate.
I think he mistook football for alcohol.
No, he's
if you took
mistaken.
alcohol away, there would be lots of violence.
But alcohol is a big part of football culture. Some brilliant person convinces people that crappy food and booze were synonymous with athleticism.
Well, you're mistaking football for my shirtless slam dance parties I have every Saturday, and you're no longer invited, sir.
Otherwise, what is football? I mean, actually, if you think about like Don DeLillo's great novel End Zone, once you take away all the rules from football, you just have a bunch of people beating the crap out of each
Dana,
other.
they're not keeping the fans from fighting. They're keeping themselves from fighting.
They are
because
the
crime rates spike among the NFL players,
as we've seen
not
all
the
too many
fans.
times in the 20th century, a nation has actually one mind. People share, that's what this whole connectedness thing is. And to see that rage get exhausted on a Sunday really is helpful.
But don't
Maybe
you
for the
feel that
players.
don't you have a certain, I'm saying this very sincerely, I have a certain entropy interest in this or whatever. If football goes away and our society crumbles because of it, well, then we should have crumbled.
Yeah.
So,
but it really has to do with filling up time. I mean, if you, people need something to do on a Sunday because clearly they don't go to church
And
anymore.
I think God's dead. Yeah, totally. God's dead.
Well, you're saying that metaphorically.
I think what Kaylee was trying to say.
Shut up.
I think what Kaylee was trying to say is it's not that he was a witness to a crime, may have somehow been a part of it. It's that he's a dirty, dirty snitch, Greg.
Oh.
And, when your buddies do something and you say something, that's a crime of disrespect.
And I'm pretty sure he had a part in that crime.
Well, you know what's great is we've got halftime coming up in which Andy will verify whether, because I don't know the truth.
I do this thing with a bar of soap and a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Terrific.
My goodness. I kind of know what he's talking about, but I'm not going to get into it here because there are children at home watching. No, there aren't.
Nah.
Do you have a comment on the show? Email us. It's red@foxnews.com. And you'll leave a voicemail on my direct line, 212-462-5050. Still to come, the halftime report from TV's Andy Levy. Jerk.
Tonight's halftime report is sponsored by Parades, those organized public processions on a festive or ceremonial occasion, usually as an exhibition of one's talents. Thanks, Parades.
Welcome back. Let's find out if we've got anything wrong so far. For that, we go to TV's Andy Levy. So, Andy, what have you got?
How was your weekend, Greg?
It was fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Got a lot of little mosquito bites here and there, but I had a nice time. Yeah.
Would you like to show them to the folks?
I don't think it'd be wise. I think it might actually make them sick to their stomachs.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I look horrible. I look like a dartboard, a human dartboard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right.
Lots of welts.
In addition to the mosquito bites?
Yes, lots of welts.
Yeah. All right. So just a normal weekend?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. DSK. Dana, you said you think DSK won't be found guilty. Do you really think that, or are you just doing a bit?
Let me think about it for a second. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken eyes and learn to sing all your life. You were only... It was a bit. I was doing a bit. Definitely a bit.
You don't have to stop.
Yeah. Also, was that a Camus?
Into the light.
Was that a Camus reference?
There was a cat movie. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Bill, you said the French have a bunch of words for sex, but not a single word for consent. How about consentement?
But that doesn't mean consent. That means something entirely different.
No.
That you know what that means to them? Bah.
No, it means consent.
They have lots of words for it.
It means consent. Second definition, I think it means you're an idiot. By the way, NBC New York is reporting that a DNA sample taken from DSK has been matched to material found on the maid's shirt.
Oh boy.
Whatever that means. Here's the thing, though. He is innocent until proven guilty, and I have to say I was pretty sure he was guilty till he wrote that email to the IMF staff saying, quote, I deny in the strongest possible terms the allegations which I now face. He's not going to deny something in the strongest possible terms if he's guilty, right?
Exactly. No,
Okay.
not at all.
It's like when OJ said he was absolutely 100% not guilty, and then the jury backed him up.
Yeah. That's how it's supposed to work, Andy.
Absolutely. Ain't that God bless America.
Hey, Andy, can I read you what his life is like under house arrest?
Sure.
This is in the Wall Street Journal, or actually, yeah, Wall Street Journal says, it will involve a lot of tedium and repetition in the forms of television, books, eating, and sleeping. It tends to drive people a little crazy.
Not me.
Not me. That is your life,
No.
Andy.
Yep.
You are under house arrest by choice.
I am.
You know who your captors are? Your cats.
Yes, I do. God. I am so sick of the whole media manufactured interest in my cats.
I know, I know.
The people don't care, Greg.
It's swirling around
The people
you.
don't care.
I know, they
This is
don't.
completely manufactured by you and your mainstream media buddies.
Yeah. People want to pry. They want to know.
Obama campaign doing Oppo research on Christie. Kelly, you said Obama is waging war against Christie, and it's time the Republicans learn from this. Seriously, I don't understand. Why haven't conservatives started going after Obama?
Right, exactly.
It's been three years of giving this guy a free pass, damn it. This has
Christie's
to stop.
the only one who's relentlessly gone after him, and look what he's gotten.
This is unbelievable. Just letting him go on this for 3 years without questioning his citizenship or his religion or possibly whether or not he believes in a political system that Europe is more comfortable with than we are. We have to start doing this.
We do.
Okay.
And I stand my ground that we are not going after him the way that we should, regardless of what you say. Donald Trump maybe, but I don't consider him a Republican
with your Google
contender.
account, you could perhaps solve the problem.
Look, no matter what you two just did right there, you're not getting the 5 o'clock slot, so stop it.
Actually, not a bad idea. Joe, you said this whole thing is a waste of time. I think that phrase better applies to most of your answers tonight.
Wow.
Was that
He is brute.
was that a quip?
What's that?
Was that a quip?
No.
That was a quip.
That was not a quip. That was a statement of fact.
Look,
That's
I want
not
you
what
to take
It was a snide quip.
that Doonesbury-looking face of yours.
I don't even know what that means.
You look like you were drawn in Doonesbury. That's what it means.
I kind of like that, actually.
The eyes, definitely.
That's pretty good.
Do you know that he could never draw a hot chick?
No, what's your
Andy
name?
or Doonesbury?
Doonesbury.
Oh, okay.
Depends what you mean by draw. By the way, the whole Daniels not running thing. Greg, you mentioned how Sherry Daniels left Mitch and their daughters in 1993 to marry another man, then returned to them in 1997. The guy it gets better. The guy she left them for was married at the time. His ex-wife tells Real Clear Politics that she was completely blindsided by what happens, and she says Mitch and Sherry, quote, remarried for political reasons. She didn't care what she did to her children or mine, and she doesn't care about what she does now. Look up narcissist. I really question her character and her motives. Anyway, I'm sure none of that would have come up if Daniels had decided to run. So
Yeah.
There
you go.
Lance Armstrong. Joe, you said at the end of the day, these guys are riding bikes, that there are unsolved murders out there, and authorities are wasting their time being worried about whether Armstrong cheated at a bike race. I don't think it's the same people working both cases.
No, it is.
No, I don't
We're all
really?
part of the same hypocrisy, Kay.
Are we?
Yes,
Okay.
yes we are.
I can't argue with you, sir. Greg, you had an idea for a team of bike riding crime fighters?
Yes.
It's kind of like Chips, but on bikes.
Didn't they do that? Do you remember that? It took place in San Diego. There were cops in shorts, 10 speeds.
Yeah.
Then at the end, they take off their clothes.
No, I don't think that was on network TV.
Oh, okay.
No.
But anyway, it did exist.
Maybe
It was called like Sunset Beach.
Maybe the CW or something like that.
Yeah.
I remember that show.
Yeah.
Love the
You know what I'm talking
CW.
about.
Yeah.